A fifth consecutive green arrow in FPL for the second time in this season. Want to see how I got it? Let me show you. What's up FPL gaffers, welcome back to my channel for another FPL video. In game week 14 I did finish with 71 points in total, good enough to give me another green arrow, making it 5 green arrows in a row in game week 14 for me. Hoping I can make it to a 6th green arrow for the first time this season, but let me take you first through how I got this green arrow. So in game week 14 I did finish on 71 points. Apologies for the lack of content firstly on this channel, but I am going to try and keep as much as I can to get you the information that you need in FPL. So 71 points all out for game week 14. In goal it was Nick Pope, but he unfortunately picked up an injury, so Martin Dubravka coming in as an auto sub for 2 points. In defense, it was Mark Gahey, another star performance from Mark Gahey, getting the defensive contributions, getting a clean sheet, getting an assist and minutes played, and the full 3 bonus to putting him on 14 points, the star of my game week along with Erling Haaland this game week. In defense again, the other pick was Ibrahima Konate, getting defensive contributions and minutes played in that 1-1 draw against Sunderland. Was hoping for Liverpool to keep the clean sheet. Unfortunately, Sunderland are a pretty decent team this season, so holding Liverpool to a 1-1 draw, not ideal for me, but nevertheless, I will take 4 points from Ibrahima Konate. Jurriën Timber was the other pick in defense. Unfortunately, Arteta chose to rest him for the midweek fixture, but had to again come on for Mosquera, coming up with that 1-pointer from the bench. And then in midfield, I went with Yankuba Minte, made 2 points for me in that loss to Aston Villa. It was quite an exciting match, a lot of goals, 7-goal thriller, 4-3, Aston Villa come out top. The other pick in midfield was Iliman Ndiaye, again coming up with just a 3-pointer, minutes played and a clean sheet point. My next pick in midfield was Bukayo Saka, again unexpectedly benched as a rest for game week 14, but did come on and get that goal for a 6-pointer in my team. The other pick in midfield was a transfer that I made in the previous game week. It was Bruno Guimaraes. Unfortunately, he did also get benched in that match, but comes on after halftime and gets a goal for me, getting me 7 points in total for that game week, helping me get that green arrow consecutively. My next pick was again another pick from Manchester United now. It was Brian Mbeumo. A 1-1 draw yesterday to West Ham United. Mbeumo coming up with 2 points, not very helpful. Was looking for Mbeumo to get some returns before going to the African Cup of Nations, but hopefully he can do it in the next game week to give me another my sixth green arrow in a row. In the attack, it was Jean-Philippe Mateta again coming up with a 2-pointer, and the star that we cannot avoid, along with Mark Gahey in this game week for me, my captain Erling Haaland, smashing it out with 14 points, but getting 28 because he had my captain's armband. On the bench then, we had Nick Pope, didn't feature in the match. Igor Thiago also benched, coming up in the second half against Arsenal, getting that 1-pointer. Truffert getting 4 points for Bournemouth with defensive contributions and minutes played 2 points. And the final pick in defense was someone from Leeds, Rodon, who comes up with 2 points. Not ideal because they did beat Chelsea 3-1. no defensive contributions or no attacking contributions from Rodon coming up with that 2-pointer. It did give me a big jump from 178k to 168k now. It is getting to that time where we are going to be playing for rank. So I'm going to try and take as less risks as I can and no taking minuses, at least until the final few game weeks of this season. Now, enough of game week 14. The fixtures are coming thick and fast, so we're going to go and I'm going to show you my game week 15 team selection video. So in goal for game week 15, we are going to go with Bak Verbruggen of Brighton and Hove Albion. This is the possible transfer I am going to make for the injured Nick Pope. But before I take you through through my game week 15 team selection, I want to tell you that this is the last game week where you can use all your free transfers. In the next game week, basically, we are going to get topped up with 5 free transfers. So use all your transfers so that after the deadline of game week 15, we will all be topped up to 5 free transfers due to the African Cup of Nations. These transfers coming in because there will be a few players leaving from our Premier League squads, from the Premier League squad, leaving for the African Cup of Nations. So to cope with these losses for the momentarily, FPL have given us 5 free transfers to cope with this. So I would use as many or use all your free transfers that you have up to this game week. Use them to bring in players that you would like to take maybe a cheeky little punt on in game week 15, so that we all then get topped up to 5 free transfers. Remember, the deadline is on Saturday at 11 a.m. UK time. Now, game week 15 team selection for me would be Bak Verbruggen instead of the injured Pope. I am going to use my free transfer to get Verbruggen in a cheeky little punt, at least until I get those 5 free transfers, and then I will try and make space or free up some money to get David Raya, who is looking like the highly owned goalkeeper everyone has in FPL this season. Then in defense, I am going with a back 3 of Jurrien Timber playing Aston Villa away. Of course, not ideal Aston Villa away. Aston Villa showing secretly how they've climbed up the Premier League table without anyone noticing. They are now, if I'm not mistaken, third in the Premier League. So Jurrien Timber, it is going to be a tough match away at Villa Park for Arsenal. Nevertheless, Arsenal being the strongest defense in the Premier League this season, Jurrien Timber, after being benched and rested for a while, does make my game week 15 lineup. My other pick in defense is going to be again Ibrahima Konate. He is playing Leeds away. Leeds at home, probably looking strong after they beat Chelsea 3-1. And then a not so informed Liverpool going to Leeds. Hopefully, for my sake, Liverpool can keep the clean sheet. I'm not expecting it probably, but it is at the back of my mind. Hopefully, Liverpool can give me that clean sheet in game week 15 to make it another, basically the 6th green arrow in a row for the first time this season. My third pick in defense is Mark Gay, and he is playing Fulham away. Again, a London derby. It could get feisty. Hoping that Mark Gay comes up with some sort of returns for me, but Fulham away is going to be a tough fixture for Crystal Palace. In midfield then, it is Bruno Guimaraes playing Burnley at home. I am getting the best 2 fixtures out of Bruno Guimaraes, the one where he scored in the last game week and the one against Burnley at home. Now 2 good home fixtures for Guimaraes. Hopefully he can be the differential for me this game week and also get me another green arrow. In my next pick in midfield is Iliman Ndiaye. It is probably one of his last games before he heads to the African Cup of Nations. He's playing Nottingham Forest at home, so he is in my lineup. Hopefully, he can deliver just before he leaves for the African Cup of Nations. My next pick in midfield, as it is a 3-5-2, the third pick would be Yankuba Minte playing West Ham at home. Again, West Ham, not a bad team at all. Brighton, not a bad team either. But the more informed team, I would say, is Brighton, and it is a home fixture for them, which is why I have put Yankuba Minte in my lineup. Fantasy Football Hub does suggest to keep him on the bench, but because it is a home fixture, I think I'm going to take a risk and play Yankuba Minte this game week. My next pick, or the fourth pick in midfield, is Brian Mbomo playing Wolves away. Again, Wolves, not a team in form at the bottom of the Premier League. Hopefully, like Njai, Mbomo can get me a return or two before he leaves for the African Cup of Nations. And my final pick in midfield is Saka with Aston Villa away. In the strike then, it is in the striking positions, it is going to be Igor Thiago playing Tottenham away. Tottenham's home form hasn't impressed me. I think with the stats, they are second to last in the form that they have at home. So which is why I am playing Igor Thiago, hoping for him to get a return in that match. And my final pick in this lineup is my captain Erling Haaland playing Sunderland at home. Again, has the captain's armband for this game week. I am finding it a bit difficult to go against a template captain simply because I tried it last season and it horribly failed 2 times. So I am going to play it a bit safe, especially because I am in a good position overall rank wise, and I'm looking forward to hold and play on for more green arrows in FPL for this season. On the bench then for game week 15, it is going to be Martin Dubravka, who's playing Newcastle away, Jean-Philippe Mateta, a tricky fixture in Fulham away, so he takes onto the bench. Truffet playing Chelsea at home. I have kept, although it is a home match for Truffet, I have kept him on the bench because as a Chelsea fan, I think there is a bias. I think Chelsea will look to bounce back from that loss to Leeds United. And my final pick on the bench is Rodon from Leeds playing Liverpool at home. That is all for my team news. I have then run this team through Fantasy Football Hub, and it gives me a team rating of 65.8 for game week 15. Sorry, a team rating of 88% and a predicted points of 65.8. Apologies for that mistake, but the predicted points are 65.8, which is not too bad. I think I'm looking forward to game week 15. A bit nervous because I am going against the highly owned Phil Foden, and he has been informed, so hoping for the best. Good luck to you all managers. Do not forget to lock in your teams before the deadline on Saturday at 11 a.m. If you like the content, please leave a like down below. Share to as many FPL gaffers as you can and hit that subscribe button for more FPL content. Till then, all the best to you all gaffers. I will see you on Monday. Peace.